it and we go ahead with the session. Now, what we will do is the following. We will look at the SEAS manual, okay? That is the State Educational Achievement Survey Manual 2023 of Parak. All right? And Saish and myself will try to explain to you the important things for tomorrow. So certain things we will skip and we will focus only on the essential things. All right? So are you there with me? You there with me? So you can thumbs up or something of that sort if you are with me, right? Okay. So I am only saying I am with myself. Okay. Nevertheless. Okay. Thank you. Great. So let's go to the SEAS manual. Is the manual visible to you? Just say a yes or no. Unmute and say yes or no. Hello, Saish? Hello, Saish?
No, sir. It's not visible to me.
Is it visible to the others?
Not visible.
No, sir, it's not visible.
So you can try sharing it again.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just a moment, okay? Saish, just a moment. 1 second. Tell me now. Is it or is it not? Is it visible? Is it not visible?
No, sir, not visible.
Not visible.
Not visible? Okay, fine. Just a moment.
Sir, I will interrupt you, sir. Some people are saying that they are having problem to join. What is the problem?
Some people having a problem to join because what happens? We have already
we crossed 100.
We have reached our quota.
Yeah.
We have reached quota of 100. So they will not be able to join, sir. Okay. So that is the problem. 1 second.
We are recording this session on OBS. So once the recording is complete, the session is over, we'll upload this video for everyone's reference.
Lil. Just a moment, Saisha.
Yes, sir.
Saish, just a moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see your screen now.
Yeah, you can see my screen, but I can't. What is that?
The SEAS manual. Up. Yes.
Is it visible to you now?
Yes.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, visible to everybody, right? So what we do is the following now. Let's look at the SEAS manual. Now, you need to remember one thing, that this is an achievement test which is conducted across the country, and it is conducted on 3 grades. That is grade 3, grade 6, and grade 9. Okay, so we do not say classes, but rather we say grades, right? So you have grade 3, you have grade 6, and grade 9. Now what happens is, if you look very carefully here, for grade 3, there are 3 subjects which are taken into consideration: mathematics, language, and EVS. For grade 6, it is mathematics, language, science, and social studies. And for grade 9, it is mathematics, language, social studies, and science. All right? So the first thing. Then the second important thing is that when you look at grade 3, there are a total of 40 questions that the students will answer in 60 minutes. I say 60 minutes. For grade 6, it's going to be a total of 50 questions that they will answer in 75 minutes. So 75 minutes means 1 hour 15 minutes. And then for grade 9, it is a total of 60 questions that they will answer in 90 minutes. 90 minutes in terms of hours is 1.5 hours. Okay, now when does the test start? The test will start at sharp 10 o'clock. Okay, so आगे पीछे कुछ हो सकता है 1-2 minutes, because what happens is, all our clocks are not regulated, or they are pitched at the same time. So that's understandable, but it will start at 10 o'clock. Okay, now what happens is, before the test starts, please ensure that the students are there at 9 o'clock. So schools have been instructed that those students who are going to answer the test will be there in the school premises at 9 o'clock. Okay. Now what happens is, I'm going a little off the book, okay? A little off the book to help you out, people. Now, you need to remember that you are working with children. Children who are in grade 3, children who are in grade 6 and grade 9. All right, the level of maturity is such that they do require additional support and help from our side. So, be very supportive, be very cooperative with the children. So, what I would say is, allow them to enter the exam hall at 9:15 instead of 9:30. Okay, we say allow them to enter at 9:30, but I would say allow them to enter at 9:15 because there's a lot of work to be done. Okay, I'll tell you a little later what work you need to do, but I would say allow them to enter at 9:15. Okay, so now we have spoken about grade 3, grade 6 and grade 9. Now, if you look very carefully, you will see under grade 3, there's something as a test form. And there are 3 forms of the test, 31, 32, and 33. You look at grade 6, you have 61, 62, 63. And similarly for grade 9, you have 91, 92, 93, and 94. Now, what does the test form mean? In simple words, okay, if I as a teacher, I create a test, and in my test, I have all multiple choice questions. Okay, so I have 20 multiple choice questions, and I have, say, 50 students in my class. Do you think it would be sensible enough for me to maintain the same order of questions from question 1 to question 20 for all the 50 students? Or do you think it would be wise enough to randomize, put them in, a different order? You can unmute and say what you feel. Randomize or the same order? Okay, so it is always better to randomize. So now the test form, what you see is nothing but, I'll take for grade 3, 40 items. These items are jumbled up. In other words, they are randomized. So if 31 has one question as question 1, it will not be the same in 32 and 33. So that question will be somewhere else. But if you look as a whole, the same questions will be found in 31, 32, and 33. The whole purpose of the forms of the test is to eliminate something which is known as, during examination time, that unhealthy communication and copying, right? Similarly, when you look at grade 6, you have the test forms as 61, 62, and 3. Please drill this in you very carefully. Grade 6 has 3 forms. Grade 3 has 3 forms. Okay? Look at the codes of it very carefully. And then grade 9, we have 4 forms. 91, 92, 93, and 94. All right? Having spoken this, the next very important thing is that a maximum of 30 students can answer the exam for grade 3. A maximum of 30 students can answer the exam for grade 6. And a maximum of 30 students can answer the exam for grade 9. Okay, maximum. So you cannot have a 31. You end on 30. It can be less than 30 also. All right, but 30 is your ceiling. That is your upper limit, the maximum limit. Okay, so if in grade 3, let us assume that there are 30 students. Okay, let us assume that there are 30 students. Then how many booklets? Okay, I'll come to that. I'll just explain to you something, then I'll come to booklets. Okay, so we have 31, 32, 33, which are the test forms for grade 3, 61, 62, 63 for grade 6, and 91, 92, 93, and 94 for grade 9. Now, what are you going to administer? You're going to administer something which is known as the achievement test, which is also in very simple language called a test, right? So if there are 40 questions or 50 questions or 60 questions, I cannot put all these questions on one piece of paper. I require to have multiple pages. So what we have is multiple pages which are put together in the form of a booklet. Okay, so multiple pages put together in a form of a booklet, and this booklet is known as the test booklet. Okay, so you will have everything as test booklets. So each booklet will have a code. Okay, I will just show it. I will just show that to you. Okay, just a moment. Okay, I want to listen very carefully. I may not be able to answer or question you in real time as it happens in a face-to-face conversation, but this would be a little more of telling you rather than asking you. Okay, so I'll just take you to that particular page. Just a moment. I think it's right down. Hold on, please. You know, they always say a little patience is genius. So, okay. Now, do you see this? It's called the achievement test cover page. So you have the achievement test booklet, and this booklet has something which is known as a cover page. Let me just make it a little smaller. Okay, this is known as the cover page of the booklet. Now, if you look very, very carefully, you will see the grade which is mentioned. Okay, so there is a grade 3 which is mentioned. Okay, there is a booklet set. Now, do you remember the 31, 32, 33 that we just spoke of? So, when a booklet 31 is made use of, it will be printed 31 here. When you have a booklet 32, it will be 32 here. If it is a booklet 63, then the 33, then the booklet 33 will be printed here. Okay, then I'll just take you to class 6. Class 6, it is 61, 62, and 63. So this is the booklet number 61. You'll have a 62 and a 63. I'll take you to class 9 quickly. Class 9 will have booklet numbers 91, 92, 93, and 94. Okay, now having said this, let's come to this very top of the document, and I'll tell you something here. Okay, so we take class 3 as an example. Okay, class 3 as an example, and maximum number of students in the class is 30. So my question to you is, how many booklets of 31 would we have? How many booklets of 32? And how many booklets of 33? You can unmute and tell me quickly. Yes.
10 each.
10 each. Fantastic, girl. So you would have 10 booklets of 31. You will have 10 booklets of 32 and 10 booklets of 33. Similarly, when you go to class 6 or grade 6, it is grade 6, you will have 10 booklets of 61, you will have 10 booklets of 62 and 10 booklets of 63. But when you go to grade 9, okay, grade 9, please note one, you have 4 test booklets, and therefore the distribution of the booklets would be this way. It would be 91, 8 booklets, 92 would be 8 booklets, 93 would be 7 booklets, and 94 would be 7 booklets. So altogether, a total of 30 booklets. Okay, so this is the way you will have your achievement test booklets. Okay, now what happens is I'll just come quickly down to that page 37 because I need to explain something to you. I will be going a little up and a little down. Okay, a little up and a little down. So just have a little patience with me. This is grade 9, grade 6, and grade 3. Okay, so we come down to grade 3. And if you look very carefully, the information here, for example, UDICE code. Now, the UDICE code is a specific code which is given to every school. Now, this UDICE code will be provided to you. Okay, the UDICE code is provided to you. But before I can go a little further, let me tell you that in this whole procedure, there is something which is known as sampling a section. Okay, so we have a grade and we have sampling of a section. So, when I say a section, in common language, it means a division. Okay, so you may have grade 3 and you may have a section A, a section B, and a section C. So that is to be selected, one sample using a procedure. And then once a section is selected, we actually randomly select 30 students. Now this whole procedure is done by the SCRT. Okay, the selection of the the selection of the section and the selection of the students is already done. So you do not have to worry at all. Okay, so what do? You start off basically with the achievement test. All right, so step 1 is you administer the achievement test. So no sooner your children are there in class by 9:15, 9:20, first instruction is hand over the booklets to them, the achievement test booklets. But please ensure that they do not open the booklet and see what is inside. Okay, you got to maintain this. Please note, you got to maintain this. Only at 10 o'clock can they flip the pages and see what is inside, the content of the test. Before that, say from 9:20 to 10 o'clock, what are you going to do and what are the children going to do? Okay, so first thing is you see the UDICE code. Now this UDICE code is provided. You will get every single detail that you require here. Okay, so this UDICE code is to be filled here. The name of the student who's answering the test also is provided to you. The name of the school is provided. The block name is provided. Every single detail is provided. Now, if you look at the student ID here, okay, there is a student ID and there are two small little blocks where you have to put the student ID. Now, please note one thing, that the student ID will be alphanumeric. Okay, it has a string of letters and it has numbers in it. Okay, so I think it will be almost about, if you look in terms of characters, it will be, I think, almost about eight characters, 8 to 10 characters. Okay, right now I don't have the info with me, neither do I have that small little piece of paper with me. But it basically starts with the state code. It comes to the next one is the district, that is north south, GA, north south. So it will be N, or south it will be S. Okay, so that code also is given to you. All right, so you don't have to worry about that code. Area code, you will come to know whether it is a rural or urban school because it is there in the code very much. Type of school. So all these details, okay, all these details have to be filled. If it is a boy, okay, you will put 1 here. If it is a girl, you will put 2 here. It's a transgender, you will put 3 here. Now what happens is, I don't want to say much about the boy, girl, and the transgender. Okay, based on the students who are there, you know their gender. Okay, then social groups, again, it will be told to you. That information is there. Or whether it's a child with special needs, that information is also there. So all this information is there. Now, the best part of everything is this. All those of you field investigators who are assigned to grade 3, okay, please note, it is your responsibility to fill every single detail on the cover page. Okay, all field investigators assigned to grade 3 will fill every single thing on the cover page for grade 3. Now, that's the reason why for grade 3 there are two field investigators who are nominated. Okay, one person cannot do all that work, so there are two persons nominated. And I'll tell you a little later why also more work needs to be done. Okay, now the ones who are assigned to 6 and 9, don't be too happy because I will tell you what needs to be done for you as well. We come down to grade 6. Now, grade 6 also it says to be filled by the field investigator. But in here, what happens is you can guide the students. You can guide the students how it is to be filled. Okay, certain strategic things you should fill. For example, the UDICE code, the student code. You try and fill this. Okay, do not leave it in the hands of the students because 100% they will mess it up. The remaining data, okay, you can tell them. If it's a boy, put 1, okay, and then SC/ST again, you will need to verify that data and fill that data. If it is a rural school, you tell them it is 1. If it is urban, 2, okay. So just guide them. Similarly with 9th standard, okay, be very careful with the UDICE code and very careful with the student ID because the student ID is the recognition, okay, that is the recognition of the student. So ensure that ID is clearly put down there. Now, where do you put the ID? Okay, you will have to somehow put it very neatly in that space which is there. Make some space and put that ID very clearly. All right. So, having spoken about the cover pages, we now go inside the test paper and we'll take just one example as a question. Okay, we'll just take one example as a question, and I'll just take this example that you see right in front of you. Okay, so it says given the numbers 36, 28, 41 and 59, which is the largest? So the child has to identify which is the largest number here. Okay, now 3 sets of instructions for grade 3. For grade 3, okay, they will not mark the answer on the OMR sheet. Grade 3 students will not mark the answer on the OMR sheet. What does this mean? It means that only the test booklet will be given to them and the OMR sheet will not be given. So, where would the children mark the answer? They will mark the answer on the test booklet itself. And how do they mark the answer? They put a circle around the correct answer. Okay? Please do not allow them to put a tick mark or a cross mark or a star or any other mark, okay, other than a circle around the correct answer. Okay? A circle around the correct answer. So you have the option A, B, C, D. If C is the correct option, you encircle C. If D is the correct option, encircle D. And at the same time, please tell the children in class 3, okay, please tell them that they should choose just one correct answer. As children, if they don't know the answer, then the tendency may be to mark 2 answers or maybe 3 answers or mark all 4 correct. Tell them not to do that, okay? Tell them just to mark one correct answer, which is correct according to them. Do not tell them which is the correct answer. That is not your job at all, okay? If the child doesn't mark anything for any question, it still is perfectly fine. But you will not help them to mark any single answer, okay? Please note this. So for grade 3, do not give them the OMR sheet. Only what is given is the test booklet. Okay. Now we go down to grade 6 and grade 9. So for grade 6 and for grade 9, you will give them the test booklet and you will give them the OMR sheet. Okay. Now the OMR sheet looks like this. Just a moment. Let me just locate it. Just a moment. I will just need to find out where it is. because my good friend Saish and myself, we did all this work together. Thanks to him. Okay, so here this is the OMR sheet. Okay, this is the OMR sheet. Now, if you look very carefully, uh, there are two sides to this sheet. There's a front and there is a reverse. Okay, I am not using the word front and backside because backside is a wrong word to be used. So we have the front and the reverse. Now the reverse of this OMR sheet I can't show you because that is not shown in this particular document. Okay, but I will tell you what happens on side 1 and on side 2. Okay, so OMR sheet again for grade 3, whatever answers the students mark on the test booklet are to be transferred onto the OMR sheet by the field investigator. Okay, it's to be transferred onto the OMR sheet by the field investigator. Now there are a couple of things that you need to put in here. Okay, so for instance, you have the student name, the school name. Okay, so all this data is there. Okay, you find the student ID here also, so you can put it a little on top, the student ID. Remember, the student is identified by student ID. So please ensure that the student ID on the test booklet and the OMR sheet is the same. Okay, ensure that it is the same. You make one little change somewhere, then everything will get disturbed. Okay, then it becomes invalid. We invalidate that particular OMR sheet. Okay, so don't do that. Be very, very careful. So, as field investigators, you have to fill all this. Now, there is a UDICE code here. Okay, so you look at the UDICE code, and accordingly, you will go on darkening these particular circles which are here. Okay, for grade 3, remember one thing, that the medium of instruction here in Goa is not uniform. We have English as medium of instruction, we have Konkani, we have Marathi, we have Urdu, we have Kannada also. Okay, so you have to look at the medium of instruction, okay, in which they will be answering the paper. So for example, you have medium of instruction and the code. Okay, so if it is Konkani, it is 07. Please look at this, okay, 07. If it is Marathi, it is 10. If it is English, it is 19. And one second. If it is Kannada, it is 5. Okay. And if it is Urdu, where is Urdu? I missed out Urdu. If it is Urdu, it is 18. If it is English, it is 19. So look at that little carefully. Okay, so where do they mark the answers now on the OMR sheet? So the last part that you see here is a section where the answers are marked. Okay, now again look at this carefully. These are blocks. Okay, so you have a question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 questions make one small little block. Then you have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The second block. But if you look at the arrangement of these blocks are arranged from top to down and not from left to right. So please draw the attention of the students 6 and 9 before they even attempt answering that this is the order in which they need to mark the answers. So the answers are question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all from top to down. Then the next block is 11 to 15 and 16 to 20. All right. So class 3 will have 40 questions, which means that you will utilize these blocks. For class 5, 6, it is 50 questions. And for class 9, it is 60 questions. Okay. So all the blocks are utilized. Okay. If you will do this marking for class 3, then who will do the marking for class 6 and 9? Simple. Class 6 and 9 students will read, they will read the questions in the achievement test. Okay, they will identify the correct answer and they will immediately mark it on the OMR sheet. Okay, they will mark it on the OMR sheet. Now, again, when they're going to mark on the OMR sheet, you have to, before the stats test begins, tell them how the marking it will be made on the OMR sheet. So those are all circles. Okay, I'll come here. So you have an A, a B, and a C, and a D. If the answer is D, then you color inside that circle which has D. If the answer is A, you color inside the circle which has A in it. Now, for the purpose of convenience, okay, every student will be given a black ballpoint pen, which we commonly say ball pens. Okay, ball pens. They're basically ballpoint pens because it has a small little ball right there at the tip. So which is like a small sphere that starts moving. So that's the reason why it's called a ball and a point pen. So black will be given, and by chance there are some schools that will receive blue. Okay, so it depends. Could be either black or it could be blue. No child will use pencil and an eraser. So what does that mean? It just means like kaun banega karodpati. Okay, answer freeze kiya jaye, you freeze it only once. There is no way by which you can unfreeze it. So tell the student, read the question carefully, select one answer and mark the answer. Okay. Now for grades 3, 6 and 9, the students themselves will mark the answers on the student responses section of the OMR sheet. For grade 3, who will mark? You will mark as field investigator. For grade 6 and 9, the students will mark. Okay. So I hope I'm clear about this. Now, what happens is, once the 1 hour or 60 minutes is up for grade 3, okay, once that time is over for grade 3, it would be 11 o'clock. Okay, it would be 11 o'clock. Then what you do is the following. You need to now administer something which is known as the pupil questionnaire. Okay, and there's an abbreviation for it as PQ. Right, so there's an abbreviation that is called PQ. So that stands for the pupil questionnaire. Just hold on for a moment, please. Okay, just a moment. Let me just locate the sample of that. I think I
So
have
it's
gone.
above the poema sheet.
It's just about no, just a moment, Saish. Okay, I'll just get it. Just a moment. This is for which grade, by the way? This is for grade. This is TQ. Just a moment. This is TQ. This is SQ. We'll tell you all about it. Just hold on. Okay. So there is something which is a PQ. That is the pupil questionnaire. Now, again, the student ID will chase you. Okay. The student ID, therefore, is the most important. Okay. And now what happens is you have all this information that you have to fill that information. If you need some help from the school, ask them for help. They will be most willing to help you out. Okay. I was telling you about the ballpoint pen, no? Okay. It is written here, a blue or a black ballpoint pen. So those of you who have got a habit of saying a ball pen, please erase that and start calling it a ballpoint pen. Okay. So what happens here is, this is the pupil questionnaire. All right. And who's going to answer this? It's the students. So I'll just take an example of grade 3. So grade 3, they finish answering the achievement test. Okay. Be a little careful. Okay. With the test booklets. Be a little careful with the test booklets. Do not keep the test booklets, in their hands. because you do not know what those kids can do. Take the test booklets, keep them aside, because your job will start transferring the answers from the test booklet to the OMR sheets. Okay? So, as that is done, we start administering the pupil questionnaire. Now, on side 2 of the OMR sheet, you will again find, um, those boxes for them to mark their responses. A, B, C, D. So darken the circle. Okay. Questions are something like this: how much do you like coming to school? Okay. Or how difficult is it for you to travel to school? All right. So they have to. Answer. They have to answer questions like this. All right. So for grade 3, you may need to give them a little support. Okay, but don't sit and go on telling them everything. Okay, explain word by word, because if you go and do that, you will finish your work by 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so don't do that. Be very prudent. Be concerned. Be prudent, and be professional. All right. So do not go on wasting time. All right. So you will have about, I think, some questions for pupil questionnaire. All right. So grade 3, the responses that the students make on the pupil questionnaire. Again, the responses by grade 3 students are on the pupil questionnaire itself. Okay. So this who will transfer? Again, you will transfer for grade 3. For grade 6 and grade 9. Who will mark on the OMR sheet? On side 2, it is the student yourself. Okay. So I'll run through once again. For grade 3, achievement test booklet is given, but the OMR sheet is not given. For grade 6 and grade 9, the achievement test booklet is given and the OMR sheet is given. For grade 3, once the test is over, please collect those test booklets from those children, because you do not know what they can do. And then later on, transfer their responses to the OMR sheet, which is done by the field investigator. In the case of grade 6 and grade 9, the students do not mark anything on the achievement test booklet or the test booklet, but they mark all their answers on the OMR sheet on side 1. And we go to side 2. Now side 2 is the place for them to mark their responses for the pupil questionnaire. So the grade 3 students will mark their responses on the pupil questionnaire itself, whereas grade 6 and 9 will mark their responses on the OMR sheet straight away. Okay. Okay, so this is done. Then Saish, okay, this is done. Then the next thing that we have, okay, is known as the SQ, and then I'll go to TQ. Now SQ is the school questionnaire. Keep your ears open now. SQ is the school questionnaire. Now, the system in certain schools is like this. They will have grade 1 to grade 10, which is under one principal. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the 10 grades are under one principal. Okay, so now what happens is, the beauty of the whole thing is, if by chance that school is taken for grade 3, 6 and 9, listen carefully. If it is for grade 3, 6 and 9, then you will administer only one school questionnaire on the head of the school. Okay? You will administer only one school questionnaire on the head of the school. If that school has been taken for grade 6 and 9. Again, one school questionnaire will be administered on the head of the school. Okay. Now, let's take the third story. If if grade 3 that is taken is a primary school, then that primary school, okay, listen very carefully, then that primary school, for example, a government primary school, will have its own head of institution. Okay, so be very, very careful when you try to get the SQ filled. All right, SQ is to be filled by the head of the institution. Okay, that is mandatory. All right. Now what happens is there can be a possibility. Wherein the head of the institution is not there. Wherein the head of the institution is not there. If such arises, please get to the coordinator or get to us at the control unit at SCRT, and we will tell you what is to be done. Okay, this is as far as the SQ is concerned. Okay, then for the SQ also there is an OMR sheet. Okay, then we come down to the teacher questionnaire. Okay, the teacher questionnaire. All right, I hope you have heard very carefully that the SQ also has an OMR sheet. Okay, now we come down to the teacher questionnaire. Now the teacher questionnaire is the questionnaire. You will get 2 teacher questionnaires. So you'll get 2 for grade 3, you'll get 2 for grade 6 and 2 for grade 9. Okay, so who can answer the teacher questionnaires? Now the situation is like this. If you go to grade 3, or now you would require a teacher of mathematics, the one who teaches them mathematics in grade 3, and the one who teaches them language in grade 3 to fill the teacher questionnaires. Okay, I hope you have heard what I said. You require a mathematics teacher and a language teacher to fill the teacher questionnaires for grade 3. Similarly, for grade 6, and the same applies to grade 9. Now, this is what we want, but the reality in the school can be different. So, what do we do in such a circumstance? Give a simple example. I'll come from grade 9 to grade 3. Okay. So, in grade 9, if a teacher of mathematics is not there, okay, the one who teaches grade 9, teacher of mathematics is not there, look for the teacher who teaches science. Ask that person to fill. If the teacher teaching languages is not there, ask the one who teaches social studies. So you have an option between 4. You have a teacher of mathematics, you have a teacher of science, you have a teacher of social studies, and you have a teacher of language. Okay, so definitely the schools have already prepared teachers who will answer the TQ. But in an event, the school has not prepared teachers to answer the TQ. Okay, then for grade 9, you can get any of these 2 out of these 4 to fill the TQ. Okay, we come down to grade 6 now. The same thing is applicable to grade 6 as well. Okay, I'm repeating. What happens in grade 9 applies to grade 6. But when we come down to grade 3, the situation here can be totally different. It can be totally different, particularly when I look at government schools and private unaided schools and private aided schools. Okay, so the situation can be different. Now, what happens here is you may have the head of the school, okay, that the so-called principal of the primary school, the head of the school. But the head of the school could also be teaching mathematics, or the head of the school could also be teaching language. Okay, so now what happens is the school doesn't have sufficient number of teachers, because in some schools you have just 3 teachers in the primary government schools. What are you going to do? You can't chase people. So what you do is make use of who is there. So if you have the principal of the school, of the primary school, okay, who also teaches, say, language, okay, I would say, make use of that person to fill the TQ, and make use of another teacher who teaches grade 3 to fill the TQ again. But in the worst case scenario, at least have one TQ filled. In the worst case scenario, I'm talking about grade 3, at least have one TQ filled. If not two, at least have one. Okay, don't come empty handed, right? Okay, so I hope you have heard the instructions very carefully. All right, so tomorrow is the day wherein you will go to the schools. Okay, the schools that are assigned to you. Reach the school by 8:30. Okay, the material will also reach the school around that time. Meet the head of the institution, have a conversation with the head of the institution, introduce yourself, be very polite, be very gentle, okay, and be willing, be expressive, and show the courage and the determination that we are doing this for the benefit of our state, and we are doing it for the benefit of our students, and we will support you and collaborate with you in such a way that that C's will be done in a very, very nice way. All right, so tomorrow you will go to the school, and then on 3rd you are expected to be in the school by 8 o'clock. Okay, so 8 o'clock you have to be at school, and the process starts right from 8 o'clock. So you will have to unpack all the material. So if you're assigned to grade 3, both the field investigators, please get together, okay, and get ready with the material. So if it's grade 3, 31, 32, 33, okay, so that is the way you will keep all the material ready, the OMR sheets, the PQs, the TQs, the SQ. Okay, are you with me till here? I need Sai sir. Do you need to tell something, or can I go to the sitting arrangement? Hello,
Yes, sir. Some
hello.
students have raised their hands. So, shall we
Yeah,
take the
I
questions
will.
now or we'll go to the questions later?
No. Saish will answer the questions later,
Okay, you
because
can
if we go
continue,
to
sir.
answer their questions, if we go to answer their questions, it will be 12. Saish. Okay, so what we do is we will answer their queries all at one go at the end. So there could be common questions also. Saish, can I go to you tell them about that sheet one, Saish, and the field notes, or should
Uh,
I or should I ex-
yes, sir.
or should
So,
I explain?
so it's you. It's better
Should I
you
ex-
continue. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that, Saish. No, I'll do one thing. I will explain the sitting arrangement, Saish, I'll explain to
Yes,
them
sir.
the sitting arrangement, and then you take over. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll take a short break. Okay. I have a cup of tea. It's my favorite beverage, hot beverage. All
It's
right.
you.
Uh, okay. Just a moment. So we come to this. Saish, all right. Okay, I need to make use of a Word document. Just a moment. Can I use this Word document? Objectives? No. Just use another one. Let me. Okay. No, I will use an Excel sheet. That makes a lot of sense. Just a moment. Let's use this. Just a moment. I have still not shared my screen. So please hold on. Please hold on. A little patience. Okay. Um,
So we can see your screen.
you can see my Excel sheet.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, now what we do is, uh, Remember that the section is identified and the students are already determined. So, who is going to answer? The test is known and they are also given their student IDs. Okay. Now, for the sake of convenience, let me just explain to you what will actually happen. So, let me just key in something here. Okay. When I say key in, I mean I'm going to type something here. Okay. So, I'm going to take grade GRAD. I will take grade 9. Okay, we'll take grade 9, and what we will do is, for the sake of convenience, I will just put. I will just take, a student ID as 01, 02, 03, 04, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the sake of convenience. Okay, so let me put the student ID as 01. All right, I'll put a 2, I'll put a 3, and then I'll put sorry, that became 2.3. That's 2, 3. Oh, I put 4, 3 and 4, and then I'll just put a gap here. I'll put a 5, sorry, 5, a 6, 7, and an 8, and I'll just put a 9 here and a 10 here. Okay, and let me center all this. Okay, I'm going to center all this, and let me just put some color here also, because color always looks nice. Okay, so I put some color here and I put color here. Okay, I don't think anybody would have done all this decorative art for you as much as we are doing. Okay, because we want you to understand, or rather comprehend, things the right way. Okay, so that's the reason why. So there is color here. All right, now what did I say? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've just taken 10 students. Don't make me take 30. Okay, they correspond to the student IDs. So you'll have everything, that alphanumeric code, and at the end you have either a single digit number, a double digit number, or a 3-digit number. So when would I have a single digit, a double digit, or a triple digit number? Now, let's consider, for example, say Concord as a taluka. Okay, so you have boys and you have girls. So now there is a code for boys and there's a code for girls. So if in Concord, example, hypothetical case, if in Concord there are 651 boys, 651 boys, and there are 750 girls. 750 girls. Now, by chance, amongst the boys, okay, you could start with 1. So 1 could be a boy, 2 will be a boy, 3 will be a boy, 4 will be a boy. When we go to 11, it becomes a 2-digit number. When you go to 100, it becomes a 3-digit number. So all these details are given to you very, very clearly. Now, what I have done is I have only taken a single digit number going into a double digit number. Okay, please note that. I have taken a single digit number going into a 2-digit number for the sake of convenience. Now, this is grade 9. And how many forms of the test do we have? We have 4 forms. We have 91, we have 92, we have 93, and we have 94. So now I need to administer the achievement test. Okay, so I go to the person who is the starting person, and I give that person 91. All right, let me just put this in blue. Okay, again I'm color coding it for you. Okay, I am not going to ask you for your choice of colors because I can't give you that much of freedom. Okay, yeah, green is my favorite color. Okay, so we are going to give the booklet 91 to 1. We are going to give the booklet 92 to the one who has the second code. We are going to give the booklet 93 to the third person. We are going to give the booklet 94 to the fourth person. Okay. Then please come to 5. You got to look at the start and the continuous sequence of the student ID. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you come down to 5. So 5 will have 91. I will just copy this because what happens, I'm a copycat. So let me just put this here. Okay. And let me just put this here. Okay. So now, great. We have done our job. But let me tell you, we have blundered. We have blundered in doing our job. For the simple reason that if you see, behind 1 is 5. Behind 5 is 9. And all these three, 1, 5, and 9, have the same form of the test. There is a possibility that they will ask the person in front or at the back, what is question 1? And what is question number 15? If question 1 and question 15 is the same, then these people will copy from each other. And it's going to be disaster. So please, wherever you have an even number of booklets, 91, 92, 93, 94, in such a circumstance, please, either you keep the sitting arrangement as 3 or keep it as 5. It has to be an odd number. Okay? So in this case, this would be 4, this would be 5, this would be 6, this would be 7 and 8 and a 9. And this would be 94, this would be 91, this would be 92. I hope you people have eaten your dinner. If you haven't eaten your dinner, it's also okay. Okay? So, and this becomes 91. All right? So now what happens is, to communicate is extremely difficult. So, if you have 3 forms of the test, then ensure that your sitting arrangement is even. If you have an even number of test booklets, ensure that the sitting arrangement is odd. Okay? Otherwise, that copying will start. Now, what happens is, all this information is given to us. That is, as far as the student IDs are concerned. Now, for some reason, number 4 was supposed to be present for the test. Okay? Number 4 was supposed to be present for the test, but this fellow, he decides to remain absent. Okay? Number 4 decides to remain absent. Now what do? We don't discard 4. We still give the test booklet and we give the OMR sheet and we also keep the PQ there. Okay? So we keep the OMR sheet, we keep the test booklet and also the PQ. All right? For this particular person. But what happens is, this will be an empty booklet in the end. This booklet will be empty. So, it will be ID 1, 91, ID 2, 92, ID 3, 93, ID 5, 91. Okay, why? Because ID 4 assigned 94. Please do not commit the blunder of doing something like this. Okay, just because number 4 is absent, don't give 94 to 5. You can't do it. Okay, legitimately, 94 has to be assigned the booklet 94. Okay, legitimately. So the person is absent, it's fine. But that is his right, even in absentia, to have the booklet. Then number 5 gets 91. Be very, 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 very careful when you administer, that is when you hand over the test booklets. Okay? Be very careful with this particular thing. Sai sir, I think I am done with what I have to do. I think you can take over now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to take over your queries, or Sai sir, would you like to continue? And then I think we'll take all queries at one go.
Yes,
Better.
sir. We'll take the queries at end.
Yeah.
Now I'll share my screen. Is it
Yes.
visible?
Yeah. You are presenting. Yeah. Yes. 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 Parak. Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to draw your attention to something we know as the sheet 1, which you as field investigators have to fill. Now, there are certain, yep, this one. So if you have the PDF in your hand or in your phones, you can just go to this sheet and see. Okay, so it gives us the detailed information about the students who are present in the class on that day. Okay, so it asks you to list all the students of the sample section class as per the school attendance register. So there all the details are given over here. You have to write their roll number, that is the school allotted roll number, and the name of the student, their gender, category, CWSN, and other details. Now, if you see at the bottom of this sheet, the coding is presented or given to you earlier. So the gender here, if you notice a difference, then from the test booklet or the answer OMR sheet, they have mentioned 3 genders, but here they are mentioning only 2. So just go ahead with this. If in the gender column, when you write, you just write 1 or 2, whichever is the gender of the child. Category, again they have given codes 1, 2, 3, 4 for each category. Same coding you have to follow and you have to write it over here. And then thirdly comes the CWSN. Now if the student is a child with special needs, then which of the following disability does the child have, you have to identify, and a code is given to each of the disability. Same code you have to enter in this column. And finally comes the attendance, whether that child is present at that time or not. That's the only interpretation of the word attendance. So if he is present during the exam, he is present. If he is absent, he is absent. Now, when we are looking at the last cell, last 2 columns, then there are certain changes. Okay, so let me give you some example. So, number 1, a little bit of writing work over here. Just a few minutes. Okay, so these are the students with some random names. We'll just assign some names over here. Okay, and then I'll just give some. Okay, so now we fill up all the details as it is asked in each of the column as per the school attendance register, and make sure I won't write everything over here. I'll just go to the last part. Now, say suppose the schools are already doing the sampling part of the survey, so you don't have to do the sampling again. The only thing that matters here is you have to mark the present and absent. So you write whether that person is absent, present, absent, present. Okay, so now as per the sampling procedure, say suppose the first student that is selected is roll number 3, that is Raj. So this student will get, now say suppose this is for 6th standard, he will get the booklet number 61. Okay, and whatever student ID is assigned by the department, that will be sent to you. Okay, now say suppose they have selected every alternate student as per the sampling procedure. So this person will again be absent, this one will be present. this one will be absent, this one will be present, this one will be absent. Okay, the sampling procedure is already informed and they have already conducted the sampling, so you don't have to worry. So now, as per the selected people who are there, okay, so we have roll number this one who will get 62, this one will get 63, and now as per the selection of sample, it is the turn of this person, but he is absent, who was supposed to be present on that day, but he turns out to be absent. Even then, in this sheet, you will write the assigned booklet number, whichever that roll number should get, and keep it blank. Okay, so this is how you fill up this sheet, and then you mention the allotted student ID. Now for those students like Ram, Sam, then we have Taj, we have Suma, we have Pooja, then we have Dhruv, who are not part of the sample, their last two columns will remain blank. Okay, there will be nothing written here, only the selected samples things will be written there. I hope that's clear. So would you like to add anything?
Yes, I'm back, Saish.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Uh, okay, now what happens is, again, I take you on a small little tiny journey. Okay, now this time I'm not going to draw anything for you, all right? But I'm just going to tell you. So when you look at grade 3, you look at grade 6 and grade 9. For each of these grades, you will have 3 documents. Okay, you will have 3 documents. And which are the documents? Okay. You will have 3 documents. Okay. You can know also who's speaking. So 3 documents. One is the test booklet. Test booklet is one. The second one is the OMR sheet. And the third one is the PQ. Okay, so 3 documents. You have the test booklet. You lost your connection. Just hold on.
So you are audible.
Uh, I am audible. Okay, fine. So I'll just go on speaking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am back. I am back. Okay, I will not use the video because it require more bandwidth for that. Okay, so 3 documents: the test booklet, the OMR sheet, and the pupil questionnaire. Okay, you will have 3 documents for every single student. All right. Now, what do? You do the following. You will have, once everything is over, all the achievement test booklets. If it is for class 3, you will have booklets which bear the serial number 31, 32, 33. If it's grade 9, you will have 91, 92, 93, 94. And if it is grade 6, it will be 61, 62, 63. Okay, so you will have the first level of sorting is based on the booklet number. That is 31 to 33, 61 to 63, and 91 to 94. That is the first level of sort, SORT. Okay, and then Arshada, okay, the second level of sort will be under 61. So from the lowest to the highest number. From the lowest, okay. So if roll number 1, student ID 1, then below that will be the next one, and below that, and below that, and below that. Okay. When it comes to 62, the same thing, 63, 91, 92, 93, 94. So you have 2 levels of sorting. The first level of sorting is based on the test form number, whether it is 31, 32, 33. Once you have all these 31s together, 32 and 33, put all the 31s together, okay, in the order from the lowest to the highest. Similarly, for 32 and 33. And the same applies for class 6 and class 9. All right. Then we go to the OMR sheets and we follow the same principle that we have applied of sorting to the achievement test. And then the third document is the pupil questionnaire. Now, for the pupil questionnaire, you do not have a test booklet, sorry, you do not have a test form number as 31, 32, 33, 61, 62, 63. There's nothing like that. So you just have the student code, the student ID. Okay. So you arrange all those booklets in the order of the student ID from the lowest to the highest. So just do all this sorting work. Now, why am I telling you to sort this? Because as professionals, as professional educators and responsible citizens, it is our responsibility to put things in order, sort them out, and give it to a higher authority for assessment so that nobody has to sit later on and do the sorting work. Okay? So you sort all the achievement test booklets, put them in order. You sort all the OMR sheets, put them in order. You sort all the PQs, put them in order. Okay? The unused material, for example, the ones for that matter who are absent, is unused material. Please note, it is unused material. So the unused material to be kept on one side. Okay? And then what happens is, at the school, they will tell you how you have to tie the material. They will tell you how it is to be tied, and there will be two envelopes given to you. One for used material and the second one for unused material that you will do at the school. Okay? So now, what we do is we take your questions. We take your questions. Siddhi, you can't hear properly. Okay, I don't know why you can't hear properly. Sanjana, few students are trying to join in, so please allow them. We've reached a capacity of 100. So if we had the paid version of the G Suite, then it was possible. Yes, okay. So those of you who have questions to ask, you can ask us. Now, let me tell you one thing, that we have spoken to you many things in the last few days. And today you may realize that, we are telling you something a little different from what we have told you in the past. Now, what we are telling you today is the most recent information. Okay? Today is the most recent information that you will use day after tomorrow. Okay? There is one gentleman who has said something. Sir, if student is absent, can we fill the details on test booklet? No, don't fill the booklets. Don't fill the details on the test booklet. Just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. Don't even bother to fill. Those when the schools headmistress. Wait just a moment, those whose names are not listed in the list of going to the school. Who do they have to do? Meaning, Siddhi, sir, those whose names are not listed in the list of going to the school, what do they have to do? They have to do nothing. They have to sit at home. Okay, Siddhi, don't worry. So if the school has made the provision of 30 students, then you mark those 30 students. Don't even bother about the remainder. Okay? What happened? Harshada, why are you firing me, Harshada? Okay, fine. I thought he was screaming at me. Okay. Screaming in the night, is a little dangerous. It gives palpitations afterwards. Okay. So Siddhi, don't worry. Relax. 30 names are there. You fill those 30 names. Finished. Then, Dilsha went to give school questionnaire to headmaster or headmistress on 2nd or 3rd. Now, as per Parak, okay, or as per the guidelines of NCRT, the SQ is to be administered on the 2nd of November. But the most recent update is that you will administer the school questionnaire on the head of the institution on the third. Okay, so you will administer the school questionnaire on the head of the institution on the 3rd of November. So don't worry about anything tomorrow. Okay, so these are some changes that have taken place. Edits. Then what to do if one field investigator is absent of grade 3? That's a very beautiful question. Okay, so if a field investigator assigned to grade 3 who is supposed to be your companion, okay, or your peer as a field investigator, peer field investigator is absent, don't panic. Thou shall not panic. All that you need to do is tell the head of the school, listen carefully, you will come to know tomorrow. Tell the head of the school that you need one of the teachers teaching classes anywhere from 5 to 9 or 5 to 10. Okay? And make use of that teacher as a field investigator. Just tell the teacher, if the teacher, ask them first, if there's any trained teacher, trained for C's, if there is, fine. If there is not, take any teacher and you tell the teacher, you become the teacher of that teacher and explain to that teacher what needs to be done, and you take the leading role. Okay, you become the leader. All right. So don't worry, nothing will happen. And if at all you are still lost and confused and you require help, either you get to the coordinator whose numbers have been sent, or you get in touch with me or somebody else and we will help you out. So don't worry. Then on the teacher questionnaire, teachers, what is that? On the teacher's questionnaire, teacher's code was there. What was that? On the teacher's questionnaire, the code is there. No, you just leave it. You just leave it. If at all you get a code from the SCRT, it's fine. If not, you just leave it vacant, and you can ask the head of the school to find out what goes on that. Okay. Because what happens is, to assign a code to a teacher is the most difficult thing. It's the most difficult thing. Okay, so that can be sorted immediately, or I can the most accurate information for you tomorrow morning, and I'll flash it across. Chesney, if there are only 11 students selected for a certain school, especially primary, then we can conduct on them make up. Yes, Jesney. If there are just 11 students, then I would say you are the most blessed person. Okay, that's less work for you to do, less trouble. Okay, so don't worry. Even if there are 2 students, go ahead with the test. Even if there is 1 student, thou shall go ahead with the test, because that is already a sample nominated school, and now we cannot change or shift and take any other school in place of that school. Okay, so be happy about that, Jesney. From which college are you? Hello. Okay. Juan,
So
what if
I'm
a
from
student
PS College.
Okay, then I met you the other day. What if a student completes answering the test before 11 a.m.? Fantastic. If the student answers the test before 11 a.m., tell them just to rest a little, put the head down on the desk. That's it. But please don't take that paper, keep it aside so that they do not scribble on that paper. Because what happens is, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. And the moment kids see paper in front of them, they'll start scribbling. And in the end, your test booklet may be, a graffiti wall with all designs and all drawings and every single thing. And you will be held responsible. So take note of that. Just because one student finishes before 11 o'clock, do not give the PQ to that person. Let everybody finish uniformly, then administer the PQ. Okay. Varsha, teacher questioner, how much time we should allow them? Okay. Varsha, what happens, as far as teachers are concerned, there is no time frame which is given. Because what happens is there will be those teachers, listen very carefully, there will be those teachers who will read every question, understand, and then make a response. And then there will be those teachers who will not even bother to read. They will just, tick tack toe, here I go. It's going to be a merry-go-round and they will mark some answer. Okay. So time doesn't work well. So what you do is you administer and you tell them, I would need this information from you in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So I would be grateful if you can do it quickly. All right. So be gracious enough. Don't demand. Okay. Because what happens is, we become visitors, the host for the day. And to inform you also, the SCRT or the Directorate of Education has made provision of a nice midday meal for students on that day, which means that you can also be and you should be a part of that midday meal. Um, I believe and I understand that it is going to be a little different from the one served on other days. And at the same time, for the 2nd and the 3rd of November, you also get a remuneration. Okay, you get a remuneration, meaning आपको पैसा मिल रहा है. Okay, so be happy with that, and it's quite a substantial sum. Okay, it will go to 1,000 plus rupees, right? So everybody is being given something for the contribution that they make. Then Punam says for third grade students, should they mark the answers with a pencil or pen on their test booklets? Punam, when kids enter the exam hall, they enter with nothing other than themselves. Okay, so they just bring themselves in, and then you give them the stationery. So the stationery is nothing but a black ballpoint pen or a blue ballpoint pen. That's all that they have. They cannot erase anything. They cannot, put correction fluid on anything. No edits allowed at all, Varsha. Okay, fine. So I hope that clears your doubts. Anybody has anything to ask? Anybody has anything to ask? You can ask me, Saish sir, anyone.
Yes, sir. Rakshanda here has asked, so what is our duty for tomorrow?
रक्षंदा, ओके, आपको क्या करना है कल? आपको स्कूल की रक्षा करना है. Okay, you are supposed to guard the school tomorrow. No, you're not supposed to guard the school. You're supposed to go to the school. You're supposed to meet the head of the institution. You build some sort of a rapport with the head of the institution. Okay, find out which is the classroom that is assigned. Go to the classroom, have a look at the way the furniture is arranged. Look for proper ventilation because the kids will be in that classroom for a good maybe 1.5 hour to 2 hours. If it is 9th standard, it will be a little more than 2 hours. Also ensure that there is drinking water available for the children. Ensure that the MTS are around the place. Okay, the multitasking staff is around. Ensure that there is good ventilation and the ceiling fans are working. Also ensure that the washrooms are they are neat and tidy, because what happens is kids will work under pressure. Whether it is 3 or 6 or 9, they work under pressure. Look at us adults when we have to answer an exam. Okay, it's like we carry the whole world on our head. So there's an amount of stress, and the moment there is stress, okay, there is a possibility of children going to the washroom. So ensure, get the heads of the school to understand that the washrooms should have water and maintain cleanliness and hygiene. Okay, so that is your job. And also by that time, say maybe we were expecting the material to reach the school by say 8:30. There could be a minor delay. Okay, there could be a minor delay. So hold on, and probably will tell you what time you can leave the school, okay? Because we have still not finalized what time you would leave the school, but try to get every single detail in place. Okay, find out who will be the people who would answer the TQ and SQ. Of course, is the head of the institution, and for us on the 2nd and the 3rd of November, the head of the institution is like a god or a goddess. Okay, but don't go on venerating them. Respect them. That's more than sufficient. Okay, so
Uh,
Rakshanda, have I answered your question?
so there's one more question which is
Rakshanda,
very
okay.
important. That is, though they are asking that some of the
Nidhi,
students, yeah, some of the BH students who are not allotted any schools, what are they supposed to do?
okay. What are they supposed to do? Those who are not assigned any school. Uh, what are they supposed to do? I will remain silent on this. Saish,
Yes, sir.
Saish, I prefer to maintain silence on this question because I don't have an objective answer for this.
So we'll come to know surely by tomorrow, and then maybe we can give them
Yeah,
answer.
then yeah, because what happens right now, no, right now, I can't make any comment, or my good friend Saish can't make any comment right now. Tomorrow we will know what is happening. Accordingly, we will try and see what best we can do. Okay, so just hold on for tonight. You sleep well, rest well, and tomorrow you will have, you know, a sufficiently good enough answer. Who was the person who asked this question?
It was Nidhi, I guess. Nidhi and Preeti, two people
Nidhi.
have asked.
Okay, Nidhi Pretty, you enjoy tonight. Okay, your dice code is given to you. Everything is given to you. Okay, it would be nice. It would be nice. I would honestly say it would be nice for you to see some of those formats tomorrow. Okay, first hand. Sai sir, have we shared the Parak document with them?
Yes, I
No,
think all
no.
the students have the Parak document.
Okay, okay. Have the
Yes.
if you have the Parak document, just have a look at the OMR sheet and the other formats that have to be filled. Do not worry. Do not get excited. Be courageous, and we have confidence that you will do a fantastic job. Okay. So, any other question, or we call the meeting off? I think we have invested almost 1.5 hours. Anything else? Kajal and Sania and Sonia and Richa, you have anything to ask? And Gayatri, you have anything to ask? And of course, there are other people also. Anything to ask? Are Baba, you people are acting like perfect fence sitters. You know, there are people who sit on a fence. They fall either backward, or they fall forward, or they just oscillate about their mean position. So don't oscillate about your mean position. You either fall forward and say yes, or you fall backward and say no, and give us an answer, yes or no. That's it. A dress code. My God. Okay, Nidhi. Okay, wait. I want to answer that dress code. We have to wear uniform. Shrutika, it would be nice that you wear your uniform, because what happens is the amount of respect your uniform holds is tremendous. You know, you become an ambassador of your institution. You represent your institution, and I would be very happy to say that you should be in your uniform, well dressed, well ironed, and of course with your ID. Okay. um, Pratiksha, if the head of the school for grade 3, 6, or 9 is same, then we have to fill only one SQ. Yes, yes, Pratiksha, just one SQ. Okay. If you have grade 6 and 9, which is taken from the school, then it is again one SQ. But in the event only grade 6 is taken from the school, then it is one SQ. Or if grade 9 is taken from the school, it is again one SQ. And if grade 3 is taken individually, then it is one SQ. Okay. Then, okay. Anything else? Anything else we need to? No, Saish, I think we are done, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. I think we shall conclude.
I think we should conclude if nobody has anything. Yes, Kajal.